Hello, hello. Okay, welcome to dorm room cooking. So, you're gonna want to take your big ol' bowl, 4 cups of flour. One, two, three, four, quarter. All right. Then 2 cups of milk. Right here. One, two. Your yeast, 1 packet. Bam, 7 grams. In. Sugar, half a cup. In. 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt. In. 2 large eggs. One, two. Stir this. Stir it more. Keep going. Keep going. I hope you have a stand mixer with a little hook attachment because that makes this 1,000 times easier because I've done it before with a stand mixer. 100 times easier. Look at me go. Look at this. Do you see how much effort this is taking? Look. Look at this. Are you looking? Look. Use your eyes. Alright. You see how it's wet? I'm going to add a little bit more flour here later on. But I add about probably another quarter to half a cup of flour because my dough was really wet and I was really concerned about it. I don't know why it was so wet, but you know, that's just how it be sometimes. Anyway, so you might have to vary your dough. Then, here's Adam, my roommate. Look at him. Look at him squat.
You could do something. It's a video.
Here I am adding more flour. Look at it. You can tell I added more flour because it's like not sticking to itself. You're gonna stir that more and more and more until it all combines together for this first bit. That's like, I did it for about 10 minutes. Here I am sitting on my chest doing it for like 5 minutes, but you know, don't look at my feet, you weirdo. I did this off camera, but here when I'm mixing, I mixed in another 5 tablespoons of butter, mixed that in together, and I realized it was too wet, so I added a little bit more flour, about 1/4 to a half cup more flour to even things out from the butter because it was too liquidy. I did that off camera. I kind of forgot to record it. Anyway, then you're going to want to let that rest for approximately 1 hour underneath a damp towel that is like lukewarm water. You're going to let that sit for an hour. You're going to let it rise. It's going to do its thing. Gluten's going to build, yada, yada, yada. You're going to come back. You're going to flour your work surface here, and you're going to want to roll out your dough. So, as you can see, mine is still kind of like sticking, moving. It's really liquidy. And then you get to see my rolling pin. It's actually just a really large water bottle that I have. Big water bottles work too. I mean, it's just a big cylinder. You're going to try and get this to about 24 by 35 is what the preferred dimensions is. But, you know, just make a big old rectangle to be prepared to be started to roll. That's all you really need. You know, you can take your time. You can do it quickly. Just as long as it's a big rectangle. It works. You're going to take the leftover butter from when you made the dough and you're going to get another stick approximately. You're going to use about 6 tablespoons of butter here. That's what I used. You may need less or more depending on what you spread yours out to. But you're going to soften it in the microwave, soften it, leave it out, etc., etc. Just so you can spread it over top of the dough so you get a nice layer coating the entirety of the dough. You want to be as thorough as you can getting it over all the dough so you get as much surface area there you can stick your brown sugar and cinnamon to. After this, you're going to want to take your light brown sugar and you're going to just sprinkle it over the top. I've never really been a person that mixes it together beforehand or anything. Sprinkle it over the top, spread it out, put it on over top of all the butter, get it on all the little crevices. Then you're going to take your cinnamon, you're going to struggle to open up the container for a little bit here, as everyone does, obviously. Then you're going to just sprinkle it over, you know, just some here, some there, everywhere, all around. Then you're going to take a couple pinches of salt, just spread it over the top, not a lot, just enough. You know, you're going to want to try to make sure your entire dough is just coated in brown sugar, cinnamon, and a little bit of salt. Then you're going to want to start rolling. So you can fold it like a good inch over if you really want to. I've never really been a fan of that because in the center of the cinnamon roll it leaves a weird kind of fold. Never been a fan of it. So try and get as small as a roll as you can to start with, and then just slowly work your way up, just up and up and up and up. Now you're gonna start to roll it up. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be delicious. But you're gonna roll it up. Mine's a little, obviously, a little bitty, so it's a little bit of a struggle here. But you know, yours probably won't be that. It'll probably be fine. You're gonna roll it up. yeah, you're just gonna keep rolling up and up and up until you get to the top. And here we have our finished cinnamon log, I guess. It's low-key sounds delicious. I think you could arguably just put this in the pan right here. Who said that? You know, like, it's an idea, maybe an experiment another time, but for now we're gonna start getting prepared to cut these into their little rolls. We're gonna grab our little 8x8 pan over here. Preferably you could have a 9x9 pan, as that is what actually this recipe is sized for, but I did not have one at this time. And you want tall walls, so like 2-inch walls. You're gonna cut about 9 approximate same size rolls out of this, right? And since I'm using an 8x8 and this recipe is for a 9x9, I decided that I was gonna just store some rolls for later. And I put them on a piece of parchment paper and I set them in my freezer. I should be able to thaw those out and bake them basically at any time. They should be perfectly fine, but you know, that's just what happens sometimes. So you're going to take these now and you're going to bake them at 375 on convection bake, preferably for around 20 minutes. If your oven does not have a convection bake oven option like the one at my dorm, is you can put it on regular bake and it's just going to take longer. And then you're going to want to pull these out. You're going to have a nice time. You're going to have a nice golden brown cinnamon rolls. You're going to let them cool, and while you're letting them cool, you can make your glaze. Your glaze is going to consist of powdered sugar, milk, and preferably vanilla. So I did about 2 cups powdered sugar, and then I just added a little bit of milk at a time until I got the consistency I want. You should be also adding vanilla. I did not have vanilla at this time, but you should add a little bit of vanilla for just to add a little bit of flavoring to it.
Sage is gonna be so jealous.
Yeah. But it's okay, she gets to watch Benson do that.
Is Benson? I don't even know.
Blueberry ice cream. Blueberry ice cream.
I don't think I've ever listened to this song.
Good. They also got these beautiful things I got.
Sing again for me. Right now. This is a threat.
I want to go home to my family. Please.
Blink twice if you're in mortal danger.
I'm trying to blink SOS.
Oh, do you know what that is? Yeah. SOS. Really terrible environment. It's gonna be easier.